Right, so here we go. I recently installed this backdrop at home, and if I take the price of this backdrop, the light, the softbox, the extra diffuser, the 2 light stands and the tripod, this entire setup cost me around £500. You can set this up for a lot less with a less expensive tripod, which I wouldn't recommend. If anything, I would recommend spending more on C-stands rather than these light stands. I would not recommend these light stands, though if that is all that you can afford, they can get the job done pretty well with a small light like the one that we're using today, and they are significantly cheaper than the C-stands. C-stands are more reliable if used correctly, especially with larger soft boxes. My C-stands aren't here, they're not at home, they're somewhere bigger, but I'm testing what I can get away with here in this shared flat, which is where I live. During the weekday, it's just me here. My 2 housemates are very happy for me to use this place as I wish, this shared space. My home work desk is here, which is also where I've been shooting my YouTube videos lately. And for this self-portrait session, I was testing out the quality of light that comes from this smaller light source, which I presume will produce a different quality of light given the smaller softbox. I'm used to the 120 centimeter softbox, which produces a nice soft quality of light over the subject. And when I say quality, I don't mean one is good and the other is bad. They are different and they suit different purposes, as you will see in the examples to follow. This first round of self-portraits used just the Godox ML60 by at 100% intensity with the 60 centimeter softbox with the grid. I took it up nice and high and directed it down at about 45-degree angle, shining down on me, but not quite top down because I don't have the C-stands. I'll get those soon, and that'll make things easier for top-down lighting, but I don't have that. After that first set, I went on to add an extra layer of diffusion with a larger diffusion area. I think this is 110 centimeters, and we'll go through the 2 small sets of self-portraits and compare those 2 methods of diffusion. Now, please keep in mind that I am not a professional retoucher. I'm not pretending to edit these for editorials and stuff like that. This is self-portraits for art. So when you are photographing someone else, taking their portraits, looking at your subject, it's much easier to notice when the body needs to be moved relative to the light or vice versa. I should have positioned myself slightly more facing the light for this one. This would have allowed for my face to be more visible, and that angle with the direction, that 45-degree angle direction, resulted in some unflattering shadow here. Now, I'm not going to edit that out because that's my body. It's an issue that I have more with the light angle more than I have with my body. And this is the image before the editing, and this is the original framing. And what I did in terms of contrast is I took the shadow all the way down. I upped the whites and the highlights to increase that contrast and to force some smoothness in my skin. I took the texture down and I added some noise reduction for the purpose of smoothing the image. It wasn't a noisy image, it was just for kind of just smoothing it out. And to really get this dramatic, I upped the clarity for pop, and obviously I removed that logo over there. With the exact same lighting, look at how completely different of a style we can achieve with a different subject positioning and a different treatment in post. This one was just a conversion to black and white, an atrocious bump of clarity to 100%, which isn't quite recommended really, though it can work. It works here, and I took up the noise correction drastically to force that smooth look again. But really, folks, with the clarity, do be careful. In addition to it being a very obvious edit, it really makes those hot spots pop, as you can see on my face, which can work if that's what you're going for. And like with the first set with just 1 level of diffusion, which is only 60 centimeters wide, it makes the light hard and it can look a little tacky, so do be careful. Here's the before unedited straight out of camera, and as you can see, I have become quite embraceful of shadows, heavily relying on shadow to shape and to style. These 2 I took in the first couple minutes of shooting, so I'm happy to say that the quality of the images and posing kind of improves over time. Right, this one over here I almost love. I think it's just missing the mark, and I think it's the framing. I think it would benefit from having the hand more center on the vertical plane, and the belly button, I think that needs to go. Actually, Julia prefers the color pop in this one, and I prefer the black and white. So here they both are, and you can decide for yourself. Here I have another thought. This portrait looks kind of raw and amateurish, I think, because you can see the backdrop, you can see the chair, the hair is messy, but let's darken the background to try achieve a more professional look, and I think it just doesn't suit. I think it's because the hair is messy and it just doesn't gel well with the darkened background, at least with a more, I don't know, like a kind of grungy raw look. The messy hair kind of works better with a less clean background edits. I don't know. And here is where we added the extra layer of larger diffusion. And look at the difference in how the lights blend into the shadows. The hot spots here are real standouts, whereas here with the softer lights hitting the skin due to a larger diffusion, exact same camera settings, is just completely different. Bigger diffusion versus smaller diffusion. I think the main lesson for today is diffusion. The size of the diffusion matters, and I guess also the distance of the diffusion from the light source. I'm looking forward to exploring this further, different light angles, different stuff like that. And if this is something that you want to try for yourself, just do it. If you don't have these lights, you can start with window lights. My first self-portraits were made with window lights. For the sake of this video, I shot some with the window lights in this exact same room before editing this video, just to show you that you can get things done with a window to a large extent. If you don't have a window that you think is suitable, make it suitable. Use your house lights, make it work. The more obstacles you encounter now that you are able to overcome, the better of a problem solver you will become when it comes to light, and it will make you a better photographer. YouTube, hello, my name is Natalie. I'm a part-time filmmaker and an aspiring fine art photographer. If you enjoyed today's video, I invite you to visit my channel and check out some more of my videos. They cover photo, video, creative topics in general, and if you're interested to keep seeing those videos, feel free to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when I upload new videos weekly. And let's end it there. That's it for today, folks. Thanks so much for taking the time to be here. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to keep taking photos, keep making videos, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next one.